Welcome, borrowers and debtors, to Bankruptcy Bailout. My name is Matt Burkus, Colorado bankruptcy and debt relief attorney. And it looks like the student loan pause, or the administrative forbearance on payments, is finally coming to an end. The Department of Education has announced the official date as January 31st, 2022, or about 5 months from when I'm filming this video. And this appears to be the final date. The final extension has just been issued here as of August 6th. So I think you can count on this time that the administrative forbearance on payments is going to end at the very beginning of 2022. So the question is, well, what do you have to do in order to reestablish payments? But first, let's really brief recap of what the administrative forbearance was. Basically, they just paused any repayment on most student loans and reduced the interest rates to zero. Now, hopefully, for those of you that could, you still made some student loan payments, because the benefit was that there is 0% interest, so 100% of your payment would get applied to the principal balance of your student loans. But in any event, if you were making your payments on student loans, the process should be fairly straightforward. You would simply have to contact your servicer, whoever's handling your student loans, and reestablish your payments. Now, your situation may have changed, so you may want to get on a different type of payment plan, maybe an income-driven repayment plan if your income is less than it was prior to the pandemic, or you may want to look at some of the other repayment options that extend out the payment term, the length of time of repayment, in order to reduce your payment. Now, for those of you that were in default of your student loans, if you haven't done so already, you want to contact your servicer now and ask for loan rehabilitation, because the payments, or the paused payments during this administrative forbearance, would actually count towards the 9 monthly payments you have to make for a loan rehabilitation program to get your loans out of default status. Now, it's not going to happen automatically, and they're not going to give you credit for prior forbearance payments, or the prior time the prior time of this administrative forbearance. You have to ask for loan rehabilitation, and then the payments from there, the months, start ticking away from when you ask. But you still have 5 months before the administrative or the pandemic forbearance ends. So this would be a good time for you to get in touch with your servicer, ask for loan rehabilitation, so you at least get 5 months of credit towards the 9 payments you have to make in order to get your loans out of default status. And once they're out of default status, then you can set up whatever payment plan suits your situation. If you remain in default once this forbearance ends, you need to get your loans out of default status, and there's only 2 ways to do that: loan rehabilitation or consolidate your loans. But most of you probably cannot consolidate your loans at this time. And then lastly, for those of you who are on or looking to get on public service loan forgiveness, one thing you should understand is that all the months of the pandemic forbearance count towards your 10-year eligibility for public service loan forgiveness, assuming you were employed in at an eligible employer in an eligible position during this time frame. The very important thing for those of you seeking public service loan forgiveness is you want to make sure you get a payment plan reestablished so that you're making payments as of February 2022, because you have to have uninterrupted payments during the 10-year eligibility period for public service loan forgiveness. So again, get back in touch with your servicer, figure out what payment plan works for your current circumstances, again, whether that's an income-driven repayment plan or just a regular 10-year amortized payment, or one of the extended repayment options. Get in touch with your servicer and ask for specifically what you need, and work with them to figure out what is the best option as far as reestablishing your payments. But the pandemic forbearance looks like it's going to end for student loan payments, and that date has now been set for January 31st, 2022. Best of luck to you.